Welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you up to date on the next City Council meeting, new Water District water restrictions, and news of a biofuel breakthrough out of the Naval Air Weapons Center, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
I'm Tom Whitnick, and here's what's news in Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. Coming up at next Wednesday's council meeting, these items will be on their agenda. For presentations, they'll do a proclamation recognizing May 10th through 16th, 2015 as National Police Officer Week. Next, there will be a presentation by the Measure L Citizens Oversight Committee regarding their annual report. This is an important item. On the consent calendar, they'll adopt a resolution of the Ridgecrest City Council approving contract change order number 26 for the West Ridgecrest Boulevard Street Project. Next, they'll adopt a resolution to approve an agreement with the engineering firm of Quad Knopf to prepare 3 applications on the Highway Safety Improvement Program, the Congestion Mitigation Air Quality Program, and the Regional Surface Transportation Program for the City of Ridgecrest. These are applications for grants to get federal funding for local, counties, and cities for road projects. They'll consider adopting a resolution of the Ridgecrest City Council, adopting and reaffirming the city's annual statement of investments and delegating the authority to make such investments to the city treasurer, Mrs. McQuiston. Under discussion and other action items, the council will get an executive summary and hold discussion of the fiscal year 2014-15 budget projections by Finance Director McQuiston. Next, they'll have council discussion and consider approval of a letter of support for Senate Bill 111 and Senate Bill 121. Next on the agenda is ordinances. The council will have a second reading and adoption of Ordinance 15-3, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Ridgecrest amending Chapter 20 of the Ridgecrest Municipal Code by adding a provision permitting emergency shelters within the R3 and R4, which are multifamily residential districts, and an amendment to the ordinance section permitting density bonuses. So if you want to provide any inputs to any of these City Council agenda items, come to the next City Council meeting. It will be held Wednesday, May 6, 6 p.m. at Ridgecrest City Hall. And again, it is at this meeting where we will get the report from the Measure L Committee on how the council spent funds received last year from the special sales tax we pay in Ridgecrest. Out at the Naval Air Weapons Center, Weapons Division, scientists have earned national recognition for their biofuel breakthrough. Chemist Dr. Ben Harvey and colleagues Walter Merriam and Thomas Kuntz received national acclaim in March for publishing an article citing their creation of renewable, high-performance biofuel. Harvey explained that the new fuel is generated by combining 2 types of molecules. The combination of these 2 types of molecules resulted in a fuel that has both high density and the combustion properties required for diesel engines. Adoption of these fuels would increase the range and loiter time of weapons platforms, including unmanned aerial vehicles that are turning away from gas engines to diesel engines. The fuels are currently being produced at a liter scale to support small-scale testing. NOC-WD is currently working with commercial businesses to further develop this technology. The chemistry branch at the Weapons Division has been conducting research on renewable jet fuels and high-density turbine fuels since 2007. This research has led to a large group of patents. At the April Groundwater Co-op Management meeting, Ridgecrest Public Works Director Lauren Culp cautioned people about using the internet as a reference source for gray water. They had a good discussion about gray water. He recommended they should go directly to applicable codes for current and correct information on groundwater. Culp defined gray water per the California Water Code. Gray water means untreated wastewater, not contaminated by any bodily refuse, and not affected by infectious, contaminated, or unhealthy bodily waste. He said to beware of plants, bleach, and contamination by unhealthful processing, manufacturing, or operating waste, as well as pathogens. Gray water will include wastewater from bathtubs, showers, bathroom wash basins, clothes washing machines, and laundry tubs, but does not include wastewater from kitchen sinks or dishwashers. Culp referred people to the California Universal Plumbing Code, where there are installation standards for gray water. Culp distinguished various levels of gray water requirements for residential, commercial, institutional usage, and discussed rainwater capture systems. Mayor Peggy Breeden opened discussion what the cost would be anticipated and whether installation of such systems were user-friendly or would require hiring a professional. Culp outlined 4 types of systems. He said the clothes washer or laundry to landscape system does not require a permit, but said permits would be required for the simple and or single system by the state. He added that the city or county could waive this requirement based on gallons used per day. In general, Culp said rain from eaves and roofs would qualify for gray water usage, but water off the ground could not be reused. I'm sure as we get into water conservation dictates, there will be more and more people installing gray water systems. In the latest from the Water District news, the state-mandated reduction in use order for the Indian Wells Water District is 35% and in effect now. The state-mandated required all districts to limit watering to less than 7 days per week. The Water Board approved the reduction order via Ordinance 97 at their last meeting. Ordinance 97 places the following conditions on its users. First, it bans watering on all Mondays. Second, it establishes a set schedule for watering, and that schedule is even number addresses can only water on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Odd numbered addresses can only water on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And third, it set the times for watering between 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. during the months of April to October. IWV water users should set the lawn watering systems to the appropriate schedules as required by Ordinance 97. I'll read them again for everyone to take note. First, it bans watering on all Mondays. Second, it establishes a set schedule for watering, and the schedule is even number addresses can only water on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Odd numbered addresses can only water on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And third, you should set the watering times for between 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. during the months of April to October. In news out of Governor Brown's office, he issued an executive order Wednesday sharply speeding up the state's already ambitious program aimed at curbing greenhouse gas emissions, saying it was critical to address an ever-growing threat posed by global warming to the state's economy and well-being. The order, announced early Wednesday morning, was intended as a jolt to landmark 2006 environmental law requiring an 80% cut in greenhouse gas emissions by 2050, compared to 1990. Under Mr. Brown's order, the state would have to get halfway there, a 40% reduction, by 2030. Mr. Brown said this tough new interim target was essential to prod the energy industry to act and to help the state make investment and in regulatory decisions that would assure that goal was not missed. The order is the latest effort by Mr. Brown to position California as a leading force in the world's effort to address climate change and position himself as a leader of that effort as he enters his final years in public office. It also is an aggressive turn in what already was one of the toughest programs in the nation aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Mr. Brown faulted Republicans in Congress for poo-pooing the threat of global warming. He said that he wanted California to set an example for the rest of the country and the world on the urgency of responding to what he described as a slow-moving crisis. Republican lawmakers quickly denounced the order as a threat to the state's economy at a time when California has been climbing out of a steep slump. These higher costs will hurt the low-income and working poor the hardest and will create an even greater divide between the haves and have-nots, said Bob Huff, the Senate Republican leader. At what point does being on the leading edge of climate change and environmental reform impact our ability to create or sustain jobs? Opponents see this as just another nail in the coffin of killing an already bad business environment. While statistics show more and more people and companies leaving California for more friendly governmental environments, Brown feels this will be good for the state. We'll see what he says when the revenue starts slipping again. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break. Now in grocery store news, recently field reporter Tanya Pyle for KZGN-TV found out the consumer really is king. Consumers are talking about the expansion of the organic section at Albertsons on South China Lake Boulevard. Assistant Store Director Randy Morgan said it was getting more and more popular all the time, and they just brought in a lot more produce along with tables of organics when they did the remodel. He said they also brought more organics in the dairy, including yogurt, sour cream, and an entire standalone case. Morgan said, actually our store is the #1 store in Albertsons produce organics in all of Southern California. Laguna Beach Albertsons was #1, but now it's the Ridgecrest Albertsons store on South China Lake Boulevard. So there were more people wanting it, so they expanded. He said Albertsons corporate branch in Fullerton spokesperson Carlos Ingleworth released a statement saying, "From painting the exterior of the building, adding new store signs, to installing new flooring and interior decor, we have given the store a whole new look inside and out. We have also added several new cases for expanded selections in departments throughout the store. Most notably in produce, where customers will find more variety and selection of USDA certified organics. In addition to fresh fruit and vegetables that vary by the season, we now also carry organic juices, nuts, and dried fruit. We will continue to stay ahead of the trend and offer more organics as the market allows. It's what our customers want. There have also been several energy upgrades, which will make the store more efficient and reduce our footprint." Coming up tomorrow, Saturday, the Ridgecrest Regional Hospital and Regional Hospice Services are holding their 5th annual Butterfly Release. Through this event, the hospital raises funds to support hospice services by sponsoring a butterfly release in memory or in honor of a loved one. The search will include the recitation of names, an inspirational poem, release of butterflies, and a reception to follow. Each butterfly is $20 and is tax deductible. This event will take place at the front lawn of the Ridgecrest Regional Hospital on North Charlie Boulevard. It will be tomorrow, Saturday, May 2nd, starting at 11 a.m. For more information, call Ridgecrest Regional Hospice at 760-499-3617. Again, this event is tomorrow at 11 a.m. This is a wonderful program. The Sierra Desert Gun Club announces a hunter education class. This class is required for all first-time hunters. It will be taught Saturday and Sunday, 16 and 17 May at James Monroe Middle School. Sign-up will be at Kerr-McGee Center, 100 West California Street in Ridgecrest, on Saturday, 2nd of May from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and Tuesday, 5 May from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. If you want to take this class, you must sign up in advance at the mentioned sign-up sessions at Kerr-McGee Center. For further information, call Mike Martin at 377-5695 or Bill Willard at 608-0751 or Lloyd Plett at 375-8155. Now, in KZGN's continuous effort to provide news and information you've asked for, here are today's local gas prices for your information. The prices again are changing quickly. They are going up almost every day now and taking big jumps daily. As of this morning, Ridgecrest is ranging from $3.25 to $3.95. Lancaster is ranging from $3.39 to $3.99. Almost $4. Whew. LA Valley area, $3.47 to $3.79. And the Bishop area, $3.23 to $3.65. We have 4 stations coming in at the $3.25 figure. Again, they are saying that these price increases are due to the need to change over to a summer formula used to combat air pollution. And supply is also going down as refineries in the West start annual maintenance. The cheapest price in the Lancaster area is more than Ridgecrest again. All other areas we monitor are now more than Ridgecrest as well. Way to go, Ridgecrest gas stations. We will provide these prices 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We at KZGN always suggest you shop locally and fill up here to support our local economy. Stay tuned for sports and weather when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's go to Keith for the weather.
Thanks, Tom. Here's the temperatures from across the region today. Massachusetts came in at 48 degrees. Carolinas came in at 62. Georgia, 67. Florida came in the upper 70s. Louisiana, 80 degrees. Texas, 78 degrees. Kansas, 76 degrees. Montana, 63 degrees. Idaho, 66 degrees. And for the California coastline, San Francisco came in at 67 and Los Angeles was at 63. For our forecast here in the IWV, tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 61, breezy with a south-southwest wind, 15 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday will be sunny with a high near 89, light west-southwest wind. Saturday night will be mostly clear with a low around 58, southwest wind, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday will be sunny with a high near 89, west-northwest wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 57, southwest wind, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Monday will be mostly sunny with a high near 87, west-northwest wind, 5 miles per hour. Monday night, partly cloudy with a low around 56, southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. And on Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high near 85, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. And that is your look at your local forecast for the IWV, May 1st, 2015. Now back to Tom with your local KZGN news.
Thanks, Keith. Now let's go to Tom Heck for sports.
And a very pleasant Friday afternoon to everybody. Well, let's start with the NBA. The Clippers end up winning last night 102-96 in San Antonio. That means that there will be at least one Game 7 in the NBA this year in the first round. That will be at Staples Center. It'll be on Saturday. It'll be 5 o'clock our time. That's a winner take all. Blake Griffin, 26 points on Thursday night. DeAndre Jordan, 14. Chris Paul, 15, and 8 assists. Kind of a weird series. The Clippers have won 2 games in San Antonio, and San Antonio has won 2 games in Los Angeles. So much for home court advantage. Should be a great Game 7 tomorrow. That'll be TNT at 5 o'clock our time. Okay, the other NBA elimination game, not really a game, 120-66. The Bulls just thrashed Milwaukee. Now, Milwaukee had just beaten them 2 nights earlier in Chicago to stay alive. They were down 3-2, but at home they laid an egg, and that was one of the widest margins in the history of NBA playoffs, the game last night in Milwaukee. All right, tonight, survival game for Brooklyn. They're down 3-2 against Atlanta. They'll take on the Hawks at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. All right, Burroughs baseball. They win again, 8-1 over Apple Valley. They defeated Apple Valley 1-0 on Tuesday. The team is now 5 wins and 1 loss in the league. They are tied for first place with Oak Hills. Softball team had a big victory yesterday. Michelle Lazzaro's crew. They beat Hesperia 13-3. Their record now is an even 3-3 in the league. All right, this from Anthony Barnes, the track coach at Burroughs High School. The Burroughs team had some kids qualify for CIF, which was kind of a neat experience. The Burroughs track and field competed at the Mojave River League Finals Wednesday, April 29th. They played over at Oak Hills. They had 3 league champions, 2 girls and 1 boy. Jennifer Kendall is a league champion in the shot put, 34 feet 2 inches, and also placed second in the discus at 106 feet, making her the top qualifier from Burroughs. Joining her as league champion, Madison Felix. Madison Felix, a 3-sport athlete over at Burroughs. She threw the discus 121 feet. And according to Barnes, that was a mere 5 feet from the top 5 in the history of Burroughs track. All right, Tyler Moulton was one of the other league champions for the boys, winning the shot put at 51 feet and 2 inches, and also qualified for CIF in the discus, placing 3rd at 143 feet 5 inches. Malik McIntosh qualified in 2 events for CIF competition, placing 2nd in the 1600-meter run and 3rd in the 3200-meter run. Michelle Pettit placed 2nd and qualified for CIF in the triple jump at 33 feet, and Joe Humphrey placed 3rd in the pole vault at 12 feet. Alex Rockwell also got his name in the box score. Rockwell, a great football player from Burroughs, he placed 3rd in the discus at 46 feet. Now, these guys will all compete on Saturday, May 16th over at Estancia High School. And if you can, if you're down the area, go support the Burroughs. All right, real quick before we leave you, it looks like Billy Donovan will be off to Oklahoma City. Billy Donovan, the head coach at Florida for 19 years, 4 Final Four, 2 championships. Bob Dower was named the Executive of the Year. Bob was the general manager at Golden State. Golden State, the best record in the NBA. Angels beat Oakland up in Oakland. They take 2 of 3. The Angels now 11-11. They'll play interleague tonight at San Francisco. Kansas City beat Detroit yesterday. Houston, boy, the Houston Astros off to the best start in years, a lot of years. They're 15-7. They're in first place in the American League West. All right, Minnesota a winner yesterday, as is Toronto, the Reds, Washington, and St. Louis. Now tonight, the Arizona Diamondbacks will be at the Dodgers, and as mentioned, the Angels will be up in San Francisco. All right, best records in baseball, the New York Mets 15-8. Over in the East, the Yankees 13-9, Kansas City 15-7. They lead the Central, and as mentioned, Houston 15-7. They lead the West. The Dodgers are in first place. They're 13-8 in the West, and the Cardinals, despite losing Adam Wainwright, are 15-6, the best record in the Central. The worst record in baseball, the Brewers 5-17. And on that note, that's your sports. Have a good weekend. Tom Heck for KZGN.
So that's the news for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now here's a great video of a soldier coming home and being greeted by his dogs, one of which has been paralyzed since birth. It's touching.
Puppies! Puppies!
Emma, who is it?
Puppies! Hey!
She remembers you.
Hey!
Who is it, Emma?
Calm down. Keep it behind.
I know.
There you go, girl. Hey! Mikey. You what?
Who's crying, Mikey? Who is it, Mikey? That's your daddy. Is that daddy? Huh? Is that daddy?
Hey. Hey.
Who is it, Emma?
I don't know.
She looked like she was smiling. Who is it?